Hello, back again. And about 6 months ago, I made a video talking about record shops in London, my favourite record shops in London, five of them. And I'm going to do it again. Another five record shops which I would recommend visiting. The first time I talked about Atlantis in Hackney, Allen's Records in East Finchley, where else? The Little Record Shop in Hornsey, Eldica in Dalston, and Upside Down Records in Deptford. Who I definitely recommend all of those places. Some great shops with some great records to find, some great second-hand records, and some decent prices. But there's lots of other record shops, obviously, in London. In London, there are hundreds. So I'm going to talk about another five, which I like visiting. I've been there, some of which I've been to a few times, some of which I've been loads. So see what you think. Now, I'm going to start with a relatively new shop and quite an unusual shop. This is at the beginning, if you like, of the East London Triangle. If you start in Shoreditch, work your way up into Hackney, go back to Dalston, a nice little triangle of through East London, and lots of great shops on the way. And yeah, this relatively new one you can find on Columbia Road, and it's rather confusingly, it's called the VDS, Vinyl Delivery Service, Vinyl Delivery Service, and it's inside a wine shop called Idle Moments, and it has a very specific niche, which is Japanese vinyl. So all of their stock, or nearly all of their stock, they import it from Japan. So just to give you a taste of some of the records I picked up over the years, this is a nice one. I can never remember what this lady's called. Oh, there it is. Hiromi Iwasaki. This is a great, slightly strange record, but when it's good, it's absolutely fantastic. This one, quite in demand as well. Yumi Matsutoya, great song here on that one. And it's not just Japanese records that they have. Here's the Natural 4, which I've been looking for a while. A nice Japanese pressing of that one. That's the kind of thing they have. And a lot of them are very, very reasonably priced. I'm told this is in part because the pound against the yen makes it quite a profitable business. There's lots of companies doing this online now, and there's a big demand for a lot of Japanese records, particularly city pop and all that kind of thing, which has become very fashionable. And people like Japanese pressing. So Idle Moments has, or VDS, has a great stock of Japanese records, lots of jazz, lots of soul, lots of rock. Mainly Japanese pressings, but I think they pick up some stuff around here as well. So yeah, really interesting place. You feel like you feel very cool when you go in there. And if you want a nice bottle of wine, I'm sure they'd sort you out as well. But yeah, nice little place, and great to find a shop which has a real niche speciality where they're selling things you won't find anywhere else. So I think that's really nice. So if you move on down Columbia Road, I think you actually pass another place, World of Echo, which is very highly regarded. Not really my cup of tea, I don't think. It's not really what they sell. So if you go right to the end of Columbia Road, eventually you will get to Yo-Yo Records. Now, Yo-Yo Records is very famous, or infamous, depends which way you look at it. They're about to move, I should say. So I think at the beginning of March or something like that, I think they said they're moving just around the corner, so it won't be too far. It's a shop that I love to visit, although it's a painful experience quite often. But it's one of those shops which, if you're in London and you like sought after music, it's worth visiting, even if it's just to look. The reason I'm saying even if it's just to look, because obviously very rare records are very expensive. So a lot of the stock they have there, you can just sit there and drool, but not actually afford. That said, they do have a range of stuff. It's not just expensive stuff. They've got your standard mid-price stuff as well. So I'm just going to show a few things I've picked up. One of the few places in London which really specialises in Latin music. So I've got this really nice compilation here, Vuelve la Pachanga, which is absolutely fantastic. That's a Colombian compilation, but the music is very much New York Pachanga and what was the other one? I can't remember. And then there's another nice one, a bit tatty this one, and was priced accordingly. That's Trio Mokoto, nice Brazilian funky record, that one. Really good, an Argentinian pressing of that. Then you get your standard sort of mid-price soul numbers. The Whispers, always good. Mary Jane the Jones Girls, you can't go wrong with that one. Nights Over Egypt, lovely. And just occasionally I've been there and I've had a slight rush of blood to the head and got a bit crazy. It was worth it. Okay, it wasn't cheap, but it was worth it. And I'd spent my whole life thinking that this is a one-track album, but it's definitely not. I was corrected by many people. But yeah, really nice to have a copy of that one. Sir John Roberts and the Sophisticated Funk Orchestra. That's the kind of thing you'll get in Yo-Yo Records. Rare soul, funk, Brazilian, Latin, Japanese as well. Lots of jazz, and they do rock and they do hip hop. They do lots of stuff, and they really go out their way to source the kind of records that collectors really want. Like I say, it's not cheap always, but sometimes it's just nice to go and look at their amazing wall that they have. Really friendly people there as well, I should point out. And always good to give them a follow on social media because they put interesting stuff as well. But yeah, I think if you're in that part of the world, you've got to go in and see Yo-Yo Records because it's amazing. Okay, slightly off the beaten path now. If you're still in East London, you might need to get a bike or something like that. That's how I've got there in the past, although I think you can get there on public transport. Hackney Wick is quite an industrial part of East London, certainly where this record shop is. I'm talking about a place called Rook Records, and opened fairly recently in the last few years. They were previously a mail order thing, but I've been there a few times and it's always been worth my while. Now, they're based in the middle of an industrial estate, so it's not kind of like your high street record shop, but it's worth going down there because they have a tremendous selection of stuff, and I've picked up a few nice things over the time I've been there. It's a bit of a mission to get there, to be honest, but it's not impossible. You get to, I think it's Bow or somewhere like that on the Underground or the DLR, and it's a bit of a walk from there, but it's nice to explore parts of London you wouldn't otherwise go. So here was a nice one I picked up, a nice Latin record, Grupo Folklorico with a very long name. I've got another one by them, which I think I showed in my other video like this, but yeah, that was a nice one to get. And last time I was there, I was in a 90s hip-hop nostalgia kick, and they had this original version of that, very reasonably priced, so that was really good. They actually put all of their inventory online on Discogs, so you can actually see before you go there, which, you know, if you're going out of off the beaten path of it, maybe is worth, if you know there's some records that you're interested in, seeing that they've got them before you go might be good. I'd say that's the true of the VDS at Idle Moments as well. A lot of the Japanese records, I don't know them, so I've gone through and they have all their stuff online, so you can have a flick through and then maybe listen before you get there, so you know what you're after, and they've got it. You can listen when you're there in all of these places. They very ample opportunity to listen to the records, but yeah, it's nice to, particularly if the shop's a bit out of the way, or if the music you're not particularly familiar with, it's nice to do your homework beforehand. But yeah, Rook Records, I would definitely recommend it. And like I say, more than anything, it's nice to explore and find new things, and the people are really friendly, and it's kind of like a slightly more young, hipstery attitude, ambience there, but why not? That's what record's all about. Love it. So that was good. Now, thinking back to the last time I made this video about record shops, I was a bit snooty about record shops in South London, and I'm from South London, so we've got to big it up a bit. I did mention Upside Down Records in Deptford, which is great, but I overlooked one of the nicest record shops in London, and that is Pure Vinyl in Brixton. I don't think there's anywhere with more lovely people in a record shop than Pure Vinyl. The lady who runs it, I think she's called Claudia. It's a great little shop, and they've been going for a few years now, I think from before the pandemic actually. And I didn't go for a long time because I'd been there a couple of times and they didn't have much, and it was mainly what they had was new stuff. They didn't have much second-hand stuff, but I've been going back there a bit more because they had some great stuff the last times I've been there. Now here's just a few things I picked up from before. That's a nice Joycey reissue, always good to have. Very nice Jerry Butler LP. Not to be slept on, that one. Some really good stuff on that. I got that just before the pandemic, if I recall. But I was in there the other day, and I was talking to Claudia, the lady who runs it, and was talking about different records and artists that you try and collect all of the albums that they make. And I commented to her that I was trying to collect all of the Leroy Hudson albums, and I only had one left. And she said, "Which one?" And I told her, and lo and behold, she had it. The Man by Leroy Hudson. I actually made a video about Leroy Hudson the other day, and I didn't have this one, but I do have it now. So really nice. This is a great record, actually. The Man by Leroy Hudson. Very nice to get an original copy of that at Pure Vinyl. Really nice people, like I said. Easy to get to. Brixton. It's on the Victoria line if you're coming from the other side of London. And really, I would definitely recommend that shop, because they got some great stuff in there. Mainly soul, reggae. I know they do a lot of events. They do like an open deck night where people can come along and play some tunes. I think it's a really nice place, and like I say, it's got that right attitude and feeling which makes you feel at home in a record shop. So lovely stuff. And sticking in Brixton, if you just go down and up, down the high street, up Brixton Hill, keep going for a while, turn down into a random residential side street. Eventually, you might find yourself in the enigmatic record shop that is Soul Proprietors. I can never say it right. Soul Proprietors. It was open a while before the pandemic, I recall, but then after the pandemic, sort of opened again, closed again, and then was closed for a long time. But in the last few years, it has opened again. And I think the guy running it now is a really nice old guy. I can't remember what his name is. I have a feeling he only opens certain days, like Friday and Saturday. I'm not sure exactly. I'll have to check it out. But it's a great little shop. Very friendly, really nice, relaxed atmosphere. And because you're kind of out of all the fuss and the madness of the centre of town, it's very chilled. And like I say, the guy who runs it, check him out on social media, listen to his friendly fireside chats. He knows about music, and he's got some great stuff in there as well. Just showing some of the stuff I've picked up over the years. Look at that. What a beautiful record to find. Really nice condition on that one. And just some good old classics. Slim Smith. Bob Andy's Songbook. Won't say no to any of that. Yeah, they've got a real mix of stuff. Reggae and soul, obviously. My cup of tea, but they've got rock and pop and hip hop and all sorts of stuff, and it's worth paying a visit just to see some stuff that they might have which you don't, and it's worth it because, like I say, it's a really friendly, relaxed place to be as well. So that's it. 5 London record shops, another 5 London record shops. I'm trying to focus more on those shops that don't, a bit more off the beaten path. Obviously in central London you've got all the famous ones, and any search on YouTube and you'll find people talking about their experiences in those shops, and they're great. I've been going to those places for years as well, but I like to go to some of the less well known, some of the new places as well, because I think there's lots of great stuff to discover, and I've picked up some real gems over the years. I love going to record shops, you know. That's why I'm talking to you now about it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Until the next time, all the best.